tremendous pleasure to be with you all today, faculty, staff, students, families, and friends, as we celebrate the tremendous achievements of this terrific class, the class of 2019, and we send them off to the wonderful futures that they will create in the world tomorrow. Class of 2019, you have done remarkable things over the past 4 years, and we will honor those today. But first, I want to take a moment to acknowledge those who have helped you arrive at this moment. My deepest thanks go to the Wooster faculty and staff who have worked so hard and brought so much wisdom and care to supporting the learning and the thriving of every student. Wooster faculty and staff, would you please rise so that we may recognize?
To thank and welcome our commencement speaker, Deborah Beal, my fellow student speaker, the amazing Milo Parker Emerson, all the faculty and staff who have impacted our lives at the college and who have made commencement possible, my family, and of course, my fellow classmates, the class of 2019. Not everyone in my family knew I'd be speaking today, so surprise. But we're here, and thank God we made it. There were definitely points throughout our time at Wooster where I think we all thought we might not make it. My point was last semester when I was knee-deep writing the literature review of my IS. I was holed away in my Carol until 2 a.m., drinking caffeine a little too late at night to be considered healthy, and listening to the Hamilton soundtrack on repeat, hoping for a little inspiration. On one of those days, my friends and I were thinking, how in the world can we get our degree without having to finish this? This is too hard. And we heard a Wooster rumor that if the entirety of the school burned down, then all the current students would automatically get their diplomas. Now, I'm definitely not trying to condone arson or the destruction of college property, but when independent minds work together, you never know what could happen.
My name is Milo. Soon I'll have a degree in philosophy, and as many of you know, I did a lot of things on campus. And a fun fact about me is that I love High School Musical, and I really contemplated doing the Wildcat chant as a part of my speech, but I decided against it. When I ran speech topic ideas by a few people, every time I said, well, what if I talk about philosophy? Most people groaned. So I decided to talk about philosophy, but not just any philosophy, but existentialism. Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, it's risky for me to talk about philosophy to a bunch of graduates, and also very risky to talk about existentialism, but please bear with me here. For the philosophy professors out there, this is not my stamp of approval on existentialism. Please don't think I'm an existentialist. I am okay, I promise. But I'm talking about existentialism because I think it has a bad rap and is very misunderstood. Many equate existentialism with nihilism. They're different in that nihilism is about how nothing matters, but existentialism is about taking control of your own existence. One theme of existentialism I want to talk about in particular is this idea that existence precedes essence. And this theme, I think, can change the way people see the world and how they decide to live their lives. It's the kind of knowledge that can help people take control of their own existence. The existence precedes essence theme denies that there is something that exists outside of yourself that predetermines who you are. Rather, existentialism asserts that an individual's essence, or their nature, who they are, is defined by that individual and how they live.
The Wooster Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, staff, alumni, thank you for including me in this year's commencement, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms in the room. Little late, day late. But it's an honor and a privilege to be here with the class of 2019, and it's extra special for me because I get to graduate alongside this year's Posse Scholars. So thank you, and thank you to all the Posse Scholars who did so good. So I grew up in a suburb of New York City. I was in a white house with a red door and a white picket fence, literally, in Teaneck, New Jersey. It was kind of a stereotypically middle-class environment that I grew up in. And I remember playing on the block where my house was with other kids. I didn't wander too far from my house. In fact, I would periodically run back to my mom and hug her legs. She called it refueling. And then on the first day of kindergarten, I didn't want my mom to leave me there in Miss Garfunkel's class, so I cried. I had separation anxiety. I also had separation anxiety when I left home for college. I cried. I didn't want to leave my house and my mom and my dad and my sister. I didn't want to leave Winthrop Road. But I always had a little separation anxiety. Separating made me nervous. Leaving made me immediately romanticize what I was leaving behind. I worried a lot. What would I be losing? Something similar happens on a societal level. We as adults have a kind of separation anxiety. If something challenges our traditional ways of life, we worry about separating from things that make us comfortable, and not just from moms or dads, houses and beds, not just from streets and towns, but from ideas.
Bernice Basinski. Megan Ruth Battersby. Hannah Elizabeth Bauer.